days after posting a blatantly racist depiction of former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama as apes, President Trump says he will not apologize.
A number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. And I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned.
Look, I think the reason that Donald Trump did this, that he engaged in this whole process where, to your exact point, we didn't see an apology for hours and hours and hours and hours, is because he is a small, petty, fragile man who cannot take responsibility for his own actions. And the second reason, frankly, is because he is a racist. And we have seen Donald Trump engage in racist activity in the past, numerous times. We watched as Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 black kids for murdering someone who they did not murder. We saw Donald Trump start his political career by denying the citizenship of the first black president. And right now, we're watching a secret police force rove around the country so that they can round up brown and black people for the crime of being brown and black in this country. And to claim then that Donald Trump is somehow not racist is just to deny what we can all see with our own eyes.
What's up, everybody? Major retired Richard Ojeda here, and Donald Trump just got called out worse than Kid Rock getting busted for lip syncing at the Turning Point Super Bowl halftime disaster. And it's not just because Trump posted a racist, unhinged video about the Obamas that has the country in an uproar. Nope, it's because you've got spineless, bootlicking, tongue-tied Republicans tripping over themselves trying to defend the indefensible.
He has so often criticized people, including Joe Biden, for not taking responsibility, for being the auto pen guy, and then now blaming this on some staffer.
The latter part of his statement on Air Force One, they said, would you be offended? Or he said, I didn't like it. I wouldn't like it either. I mean, this was the question. And did you apologize? Are you sorry? And he said, I'm not sorry because I didn't do anything wrong. He didn't see it, so he's not apologizing for that. And honestly, the amount of information that President Trump intakes from his staff and then goes through, he saw the Georgia fraud, they pass it off to his staffer. This is truly how it works. They clip it up and put it on his Truth Social. I believe his statement, and I don't think he had racist intent in the least.
Katie, you don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to debase yourself for Donald Trump in the way all of these Republicans debase themselves for Donald Trump. His claim that this was the fault of some staffer. What was the staffer? A 79-year-old with swollen ankles who, is weirdly attracted to his daughter?
And Donald Trump's response to the whole thing, calling himself the least racist president ever. What a friggin' joke. Because this isn't new. This is a pattern. This is the same guy who took out full-page ads calling for the execution of the Central Park Five. 5 innocent black teenagers who were later exonerated and never apologized. The same guy who launched his political career by pushing the racist birther conspiracy against the first black president. The same guy who told American citizens to go back to where they came from. The same guy who described immigrants as rapists and animals. The same guy who defended white nationalists after Charlottesville and told them that they were very fine people. So when Donald Trump calls himself the least racist president ever, he's not joking. He's lying, the way he always does, and daring everyone around him to either swallow it or defend it. And far too many Republicans choose to defend it.
A number of Republican lawmakers have objected to the video that the president and his staff posted to his social media account, the one of President Obama and the former First Lady. Do you think he needs to apologize for it?
It's up to the president.
And I know the president claimed the video was credible, also claimed he had watched it, but then not seen that part of it with the racist.
It was at the very end. It was at the very end for 1 second. It was really weird.
The president of the United States and his staff, wouldn't you expect that they actually look at what they do before they do it?
The president of the United States should not be worrying about all the people that are upset with him. If he's doing that, he's not keeping our country safe.
Donald Trump and his followers cannot admit the possibility of ever being wrong about anything. So they double down in lies, fantasy, delusion, disinformation, distractions, anything to escape responsibility. But these lies, dismissive attitudes, and free passes that MAGA gives Trump have to be confronted. Because if they're not, they'll drag us all over the cliff with them, toward losing our democracy and setting up an apartheid-style system that pits the haves against the have-nots. These people aren't confused. They aren't misinformed. They're scared. Scared of losing donor money. Scared of a MAGA primary. Scared of being attacked online by Trump himself. So instead of doing their jobs, they choose self-preservation. So instead of having a conscience, they choose cowardice. Instead of accountability and truth, they choose deflection and distraction. Instead of humanity and equality, they choose bootlicking. Why? because that's the MAGA way. And once again, the point Brian Tyler Cohen put right in their faces stands out like a sore thumb. You don't have to do this. And you know who does want to keep this going? You know who wants to push this lie all the way to the bitter end? Donald Trump and the army of enablers who regurgitate his garbage like it's gospel. Because this isn't about a mistake. It's not about a rogue staffer or something that slipped through the cracks. This is about a man who believes the lie so deeply and has repeated it so often that now he needs everyone else to believe it too. That's why there's no apology. That's why there's no accountability. That's why there's only denial, deflection, and doubling down. Donald Trump needs this lie to survive, and his enablers need it just as badly. Because admitting the truth would mean admitting they've sold their souls for nothing. It would mean admitting they bent the knee to something ugly, something cruel, something openly racist, and defended it anyway. So instead, they cling to the fantasy. They project, they gaslight, they blame everyone else. They tell you not to believe your own eyes. They tell you racism isn't racism, cruelty is just politics. And this is where the line has to be drawn. Just because some people want attention, clicks, and disgusting behavior doesn't mean we normalize it. And just because Donald Trump refuses to apologize doesn't mean we let the narrative shift so far that overt racism becomes something we're expected to tolerate or explain away. Do I think putting Trump on blast is going to make him change? No, he outright refuses to apologize. But that doesn't mean we stay silent while the boundaries of decency collapse. Because once the pushback stops, this country doesn't drift. It falls straight off the cliff. This isn't about Trump conceding anything. It's about refusing to sit quietly while small-minded clowns try to redefine America in their white nationalist image. It's disgusting, it's vile, it's immoral, and we don't have to accept it. And that's why Brian Tyler Cohen's line lands so hard, because it cuts through all the excuses, all the cowardice, all the bootlicking. You don't have to do this, and neither do we. We are standing together to end this nightmare. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.